Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year's. We're back down in the garage today. I've got all of the parts that needed sandblasted all painted up, and I just got a delivery of all the other parts that I'm going to need to put this front end back together. So let's take a look and see what I got. So right here we have all the leaf springs, the axle, the wheel hubs, spindles. There's most of the suspension parts. And then over here on my table, we've got an array of different things. Let's see, we've got wheel bearing, or wheel seals, excuse me. Wheel bearings, hubcaps, shocks, kingpins, and bushings, S-cams, S-cam bushings, slack adjusters. Let's see, we've got wheel studs and nuts, right hand and left hand thread. Brake shoes, brake drums, brake cans. So yeah, we've got plenty to keep us busy. Also, I got myself a press. I tried putting one of the bushings in for the leaf spring hangers, just using a hammer. I was able to hammer them out, so I thought I could hammer them back in. Not the case. So yeah, last night I went and got me this press, and that definitely made things a lot easier for installing bushings. So I suppose we'll go ahead and get started here. I've got the other rear spring hanger. This bolts onto the frame, and right here is the bushing that's got to get pressed into it. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then go get these bolted onto the frame. Alright, so we got our bracket here, and let's see, we go in these holes right here. Now later on down the line, I'm going to have to take some of these bolts back out because the front cab mount goes in these two holes and these two holes, and actually goes over top of your spring hanger. And then I believe on the inside, the front transmission mount also shares these two holes and these two holes, if I'm not mistaken. And if I haven't said it before, I'll say it now. Just kind of a little pet peeve with me, if the camera will focus. There's two sides to every washer. If you feel it where they punch it out of a plate of steel, you can feel it's kind of got like a sharp edge on it. You can catch it with your fingernail. And then it's got a smooth rolled over side. If you're trying to do something that looks good and, you know, try and do your best on it, make sure you have the pretty side of the washer facing out. Same deal up here. Whenever it comes time to put the oil field bumper back on this, the mount brackets for that goes over top of this bracket. So, you know, I'll have to take all these out and put the bumper on and reinstall the bolts. Hopefully I don't run into any issues with the brackets wanting to move or anything like that. We'll see. but we're quite a ways away from that. Okay, well, I got my handy little support stand over here, and we're gonna get these bushings pressed into the leaf springs and start rebuilding our leaf spring packs. Time to get these leaf spring packs put back together. We got our 3-bolt spacers or shims, whatever you want to call them. Now let's move this over here. This one is our bottom spring. I got some cardboard stuck to it. Okay, and we need this one down on here. And we need this guy. And last but not least, and that's backwards. That end goes towards the front. I need to get 2 more of these. I don't know why they only gave me 2. Unless you're only supposed to have 1 per leaf spring pack, but I don't believe that is correct. Try to get this raised up and at least get that front pin put in. I had to clean up a little bit right here with the grinder where they had welded this pin into the bracket. I couldn't even get it to start. But we should be good now. Carefuling. Carefuling. Pretty close. There it is. Sorry if I'm in your way. It's really not a good angle to record this from. But we got a brand new locking bolt here. Yep, this might be a little interesting. Try to pick this up. Now if I can start it on there. Alright, well we've got both leaf spring packs rebuilt, all new bushings and pins, and they're hanging. I've got the front axle on the forklift right now. Hopefully my plan works for getting that on there, we'll see. But yeah, I've got the spacers and all that already stacked on the axle how it's supposed to be. So hopefully it should be just a matter of sliding it up under here, picking it up, drop the U-bolts down through it and tighten them. We'll see how that works out. Well, it's on there enough to where I can get my top plates on, drop my U-bolts down through it, and snug them up. Although one thing I'm going to have to do real quick before I do that is shorten up these through bolts just a little bit. Alright, well, it's kingpin time. Oh. Get our spindle off of its stand here. So, at least the Stemco, what is it? Stemco Kaiser no ream kingpin set. Pretty simple to put in. Done quite a few of these and I've always had good luck with them. But first thing I'm going to do is pump some grease through these grease fittings just to push out any sand or paint that might be in the grease port. We'll do our bottom bushing, which is this little spirally looking thing. And really, all you do is get it started in the hole, and then you just spin it clockwise, and it'll, because it's a spiral, it'll shrink itself down and just essentially thread itself in there. And once you can't get it with your fingers anymore, just use some needle nose pliers and just keep spinning it, and it'll screw itself down in there. Yep, and then last a little bit. Just tap it in. Looks pretty good. Just test fit our pin. Nice and snug. And let's go ahead and put in our seal on the bottom. Just a little rubber lip seal. And you just make sure that's flush all the way around. And we get our needle bearing. Already packed with grease, that was nice of them. That goes in right there. Okay, I think we got that bearing in just about far enough. I'm going to put the seal in real quick. And then just bring the bearing down to the seal. Oop, hold on. Give that a few more taps down. Yeah, I like that. Set this guy up on here. Get our handy little needle tip on our grease gun. And these little bearings that go on the bottom, need to pack this with the grease. Alright, now take some of this excess grease off of this, put it on our pin. And we just gotta put the pin in through the bottom. We do want to make sure that we have our mark parallel to the axle. Our next step is to take a bottle jack. Hopefully this one is not too big. I did not check that. No, that should work just fine. So you take a bottle jack, and under normal circumstances, what you do is you put the bottle jack on the bottom of your pin and jack up on it until it picks the truck up off the ground. Then you take a hammer and you hit the axle itself to drive that pin up into the axle to seat it. But since I'm going to say 99% of our truck is not on this frame, I'm going to do the best I can with the big sledgehammer. But I can always redo this step later on down the road. I need to get a block of wood to put under that jack. Next thing we need to do is take our bearing, stick it up in there in our cap, which I gotta go get it. This kit did not come with new caps. Probably go with the smaller one. You take that up till your spindle don't want to move. Then you back it off to the nearest cotter pin hole. Then to finish it out, take your cap, and cap it off. And we'll go ahead and shoot some grease at it. Okay, well, I went ahead and did the S-cams and bushings and brakes on the steering axle. That's all stuff you guys have seen before, so no sense in repeating everything. So that's all done. All went together well, no issues. Did have a slight issue with the wheel seals for my hubs though. I didn't notice it when I took everything apart, but on the spindle there is this collar, has an O-ring inside of it, if the camera would focus. And where's it at? It's got a little roll pin right here. Come on, focus. There it is. It's got a little roll pin right there that engages with the spindle so it doesn't spin, and then your seal rides on this. Well, the seal kit that I got from the parts store, it is the correct seal, but it didn't come with this part. The part number is one number off, so the only difference is it comes with the seal that I already have plus this. So parts guy's taking care of that, getting it ordered, no big deal. Just a little bit of a hold up on that, no problems whatsoever. But I figured what we can do is go ahead and I'll set the hubs up on the drums and we'll knock all the new wheel studs into them. So I went through and got all new wheel studs, left hand and right hand thread, and all new lug nuts as well. This is a Bud style wheel that goes on this. So really not all that complicated. I'm just going through and verifying that these are all indeed left hand thread, because that would be extremely annoying to have one right hand thread mixed in. And really all there's left to do is just hammer them home. Well, I went ahead and got the bearing races pounded into the hubs, so that's about all the further we can go with them until I get the correct wheel seals. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So the next step I think that we're looking at here is starting the process of getting this cab off of here, which I think where I'm going to start first is at the fuel tanks. Now that raises a little bit of an issue because I've kind of been using the fuel tanks on this truck as diesel fuel storage for my heat in the garage. So this has quite a bit of fuel in it. It's not quite full. But I think what I'm going to do is get this tank all unhooked. I'll get the forklift under it, drop it down, and since both fuel tanks are tied together, essentially gravity should do its job and let the driver's side tank drain into this one, because I can't get the forklift on that side. So I'm going to get to unhooking hoses and wires, and I'll bring it back whenever we go to drop this thing down. should work all right. Okay, you need to back her up a little bit and drop her down. Well, gravity should be doing its thing. I'm going to remove both the caps to try to speed up the process and give it a little bit of time, and hopefully that driver's side will be empty. Well, the fuel tank's off now. I didn't get any video of it because my forklift is right on E in the propane department. Yeah, it's pretty low. So I was kind of focused on that and not running out. But this tank is slam full, won't fit anymore. And I decided to stick it over here on the table and strap it down. And what I can do now is whenever my heater needs fuel or something, I can just take this hose right here, whoops, still a little bit in it, run it down to the tank, just turn the spigot on, and I can fuel my heater up right out of the fuel tank. Well guys, I think that about does it for today. Got quite a bit done. I'm happy with it. In the next video, we'll keep working on getting the cab ready to take off. Well, I thank you guys for watching and have a good one.